Welcome to the North Suburban Library District virtual program entitled HeritageQuest Basics. There are many resources available through the North Suburban Library District to conduct genealogy research. Today, we will be focusing on one of those resources, HeritageQuest. As a disclaimer, some of the records shown in this program may be harmful or difficult to view. These records span the history of the United States, and some of the materials presented may reflect outdated, biased, offensive, and possibly violent views and opinions. Over the course of this program, we will discuss the following topics: how to access HeritageQuest, simple searching to get started, types of records available and how to search them, multiple access points available for the same databases, similarities and differences with Ancestry Library Edition, and research aids and maps. To navigate to the HeritageQuest link, you will need to visit the NSLD homepage. Select Digital Collection, Genealogy. On the genealogy page, click HeritageQuest. If you are not at an NSLD location, you will be prompted to log in with your NSLD library card number, which is the 13 digits on the back of your card, and the 4-digit PIN. If you are at an NSLD location, you will automatically be logged into the HeritageQuest webpage when you click the link. So as I mentioned previously, navigate to the NSLD homepage and select Digital Collection, Genealogy, and the HeritageQuest link will be the first result on the page. And when you click the link, as I mentioned before, if you are at an NSLD location, you will automatically be logged in. To start a simple search on the homepage, click to start with your grandfather or grandmother. Type in their first and last name, or only their last name in case you do not have a first name. If you are starting with your grandmother, you can use their maiden or married name. If you do not get any results with a married name, try their maiden name and vice versa. I'm going to start with my grandmother. If you have information on where they lived, you can enter it in this box. Try to add as much information as you can so the database can narrow the search for you. Otherwise, you may receive thousands of results but are unable to pinpoint which person may be your ancestor. So I know that my grandmother spent some time in Freeport, Illinois. As a caveat, when using this tool, keep in mind that it will be searching for ancestors further back than your grandparent. When you click Find Your Stories, the results will show with the information HeritageQuest has available. So when you click the button, here are the search results. And none of these are my grandmother. So I'll have to go back and maybe try her maiden name. Ah, and there she is. She is the first result on the page. So once you find your ancestor, click This is my grandparent to see further results. HeritageQuest will then show you information pertaining to your great-grandparent, the mother or father of your grandparent. The information may be an obituary or a newspaper article. So as you can see, this is information about my great-grandmother, who was the mother of my grandmother, Joan. And the information that they have found is an obituary. It is a snapshot in time and not a lot of detail about their life. The results, however, may be helpful if you do not have a lot of information about your great-grandparent and give you a place to start. You may also want to try using your parents' names in the search if you are looking for more information about your parents or grandparents. On the homepage, you can expand your search. So we're going to go back. You can expand your search by clicking Begin Searching or Search at the top of the page. You will be prompted to select a database to search within from the list. There is not a search for all of the databases at once, unfortunately. Using census records, as in this first result here, enter the family member's name you wish to find more information on. So let's take a look. We'll click Search Census. If you know the person's name and location, I would suggest clicking Exact after you enter search terms. So we'll start again with my grandmother. And here is that exact box that comes up. This will help eliminate the database searching for similar names. If you only have initials, be sure to use the initials setting. If you have more information about your ancestors, such as a birth date, marriage, or a death date, enter that information. The more information you're able to provide, the more likely the results will be relevant. Click Search once you have entered the information you would like. If there is specific information, such as an obituary you are looking for, narrow the databases to only those related to obituaries to narrow your search. And you can always check down here to find out which databases are included in this search. So all of these include the federal census up to 1950, which was released last year. That is the most recent census for the data with data that is available publicly. The rest of the censuses that are more current do not have public data available yet at this time. But you can also see that the U.S. Indian Census Rolls, selected federal census non-population schedules. There are many databases included when you click that search button in your results. And you can then see all of the results related to your ancestor. Those will be at the topmost of the results page. So there are many types of records that are available through HeritageQuest that serve multiple purposes in genealogical and historical research. Census records, as we just saw, help to pinpoint where an ancestor was living, whom they were living with, and other pertinent information about their life at a specific point in time. These records may also provide clues about an ancestor's education, their employment, and where they immigrated from. City directories provide information on where a family member was living and who else may have resided at the address. These again are a snapshot in time and may not be the same and a year following if you look at the same city directory, and they may remain the same. Mortality schedules were a part of the U.S. federal censuses from 1850 to 1880, and they provide a state-by-state death register of the individuals who passed away in the previous year. They provide vital information about the individual that can be used to locate further information, such as obituaries and cemetery records. Agricultural and industrial schedules show the growth of agriculture, industry, and technology from 1850 to 1880. These are only available for certain states, but Illinois is one of the states covered in this index schedule. Books may also contain information about an ancestor. Many of the titles included in HeritageQuest are related to specific geographical areas, churches, or specific family histories. They may contain vital clues about an ancestor's involvement in a community. Revolutionary War pension and bounty land warrant application files contain documents relating to an application for a pension or a bounty land warrant by a veteran, his widow, or his heirs. They do include all branches of government. The Canada Census contains census records for the late 18th, 19th, and early 20th centuries of Canada. So the U.S. Freedmen's Bank Record 1861 to 1875 is one of the databases unique to HeritageQuest and contains bank records for African Americans where previously no records may have existed outside wills and probate records of enslavers. So these records contain a wealth of information about individuals. For example, the record on the screen for Mary Smith provides their age, name, birthplace, address, occupation, and their spouse's name. They also name their spouse, Frank, as the inheritor and indicate that only Mary draws on the account. Other records include names of the account holder's children, their parents, siblings, and their employer's name. There are also other interesting information included in the remarks, as in this record, they indicate that only Mary draws on the account. But in other records that you may take a look at, there may be other instructions for how the account is withdrawn. They may allow their spouse, they may allow their children, they may allow their parents to draw on the account. So there's other very interesting and vital information included in these records. The U.S. Indian Census Rolls from 1885 to 1940 are also a unique database to HeritageQuest. Some of the data includes name, gender, age, birth date, relationship to the head of the family, marital status, tribe name, and agency and reservation name. In later census years, more information may be available about an individual, including degree of Native American blood. So one caveat to these records is that only persons who maintained a formal affiliation with a tribe under federal supervision are included. So it may make it difficult to locate ancestors through these records. So be sure to check out our other genealogy database, Ancestry Library Edition. This database is available for in-library use only. Census records and family history books and directories are available to be searched in this database. You can also access the post-journal issues through the NSLD website under Digital Collection, Post-Journal Newspaper. You do not need an NSLD library card to access the digitized newspaper. You will need to create an account on the Illinois Digital Newspaper Collections website to save articles that you may find. Please don't hesitate to reach out with further questions. The North Suburban Library District local history email is localhistory@northsld.org, and our phone number is 815-633-4247. Thank you again for joining us for this virtual program, and happy searching.